2.5 months ago when the Trey Hendrickson stuff kind of started. So that would have put us we're in May right now, April, March, maybe a little bit earlier than that, before free agency. If you would have asked me, could the Arizona Cardinals go get Trey Hendrickson? And I made shorts about this. If you don't want to watch the full videos, go watch the 1-minute shorts. I said, yeah, go get Trey Hendrickson. Second round pick? Yeah, just make it happen. This defensive line needs someone that can anchor it. Guys, I'm not there anymore. This defensive line is more than capable. I feel like Colin Cowherd when he talks about Ben Simmons and the LeBron James thing. We're good. Like, you can come here. I will trade for you. But like Ivan, a guy who I love, who's always in the chat and supports this channel, no way in hell am I giving up a second-round pick for Trey Hendrickson now. No. That'd be bad negotiating. The Bengals have tied their hands. They told everyone they wanted a first-round pick for Trey Hendrickson or an early second-round pick. That's what was kind of reported. I'm good. Let me put it to you like this. Would you trade Trey Hendrickson for Will Johnson right now? Because that's what you would effectively be giving up if you traded a second-round pick. If the Cardinals can get Trey Hendrickson, awesome. I want him here. I'd give him a contract. But I'm not the beholden anymore. This defensive line, did you see what Jonathan Gannon did with the Cardinals defensive line last year? It was Baron Browning and a bunch of nobodies. And he still got pressure with them. He's got Calais Campbell, Dalvin Tomlinson, Baron Browning, who's still here, Jordan Birch, Josh Sweat. Like, it's a completely revamped defensive line. Darius Robinson in year 2. B.J. Ojolari is coming back. I want Trey Hendrickson here. But in the same breath, I'm not giving up as much as I would have pre-complete makeover of the Cardinals' defensive line. The Cardinals aren't in desperate need to get Trey Hendrickson. So if the Bengals want to play ball and will take a third-round pick for him, knowing that the Cardinals are going to have to give him a very hefty contract for 2 seasons, then let's do it. I'm down. Let's play ball. But what Trey Hendrickson is learning, like a lot of players have learned over the years, is that the Cincinnati Bengals are cheap. They went out and drafted Shamar Stewart in hopes that he would be ready to take on the world and a physical freak. Yeah, he's already holding out because of a rookie contract. Absolutely asininely stupid. Very similar to the NBA draft lottery. Just asininely stupid. But Trey Hendrickson, again, guys, I want him here. But you don't get a lot of chances to push the chips in. If you are going and getting Trey Hendrickson, you are putting yourself in full go-for-it mode. And as much as I think the Arizona Cardinals should be doing everything they can to get into the playoffs next year, I don't know if Trey Hendrickson changes them going to the playoffs or not. I think either way, with or without him, because of this revamped defensive line, that they're going to be a playoff team. So 2.5 months ago isn't the same price as today. I would have given you a second-round pick 2.5 months ago. You wanted to play hardball. You wanted to try to get a first-round pick out of everyone. That's a you issue. That's not a me issue. You shouldn't have decided to play hardball then. You knew you were not going to pay Trey Hendrickson. So if you're the Arizona Cardinals, of course I want Trey Hendrickson here. Good player. Dominant. But I'm not giving you a second-round pick anymore. I'll give you a third-round pick, and I'll pay him. You don't have to do that. I'll take him off your books. And I want him here. He'd be an anchor on this defensive line. Opposite Josh Sweat, just like, let's indulge in fantasy land for a second. Imagine a defensive line now with Trey Hendrickson on it. Oh my goodness, talk about scaring other opposing quarterbacks. Holy crap, man. I mean, it gets me excited just thinking about him being here. But I'm not pushing all my chips in the table in what is not a Super Bowl or bust season. I'm not just giving away a second-round pick to give away a second-round pick. You only get to push all the chips on the table once. Do I want to do that for Trey Hendrickson? Do I want to give up a second-round pick? I'm good. I want him here. I'll take him for the next 2 seasons. I'll give you a third-round pick. But I'm not in as dire need as I used to be. Like, guys, think about it. 2.5 months ago, we were not here. 2.5 months ago, we didn't have any of these players that helped revamp this defensive line. You don't need him anymore. I want him. I hope the Cardinals can find a way to get him. 17.5 sacks in back-to-back seasons is nothing to scoff at. But I'm not just going to give in to the Bengals' demands. You're playing on my turf now. So, if you want to go Super Bowl or bust, sure, Trey Hendrickson is your guy. I don't know if this year, This year is not Super Bowl or bust. This year is just playoffs or bust. And I'd much rather wait till next year to potentially get a Micah Parsons or a different pass rusher of note to push all my chips on the table for. Trey Hendrickson is a safe, smart move. He'd work out. I wouldn't blame Monty if he did it. Hell, if the Cardinals gave up a second-round pick today for Trey Hendrickson, I would still say, that feels like a little bit too much, but I get it. And I would have been okay with it. So, Trey Hendrickson is not getting paid by the Bengals. They're not doing it. They're a cheap organization. They're a third-tier organization. The Arizona Cardinals, Trey Hendrickson makes a ton of sense, and I'm for it. But yesterday's price is not today's price. You want Trey Hendrickson? You want to give him away? You want to move on from those problems because you put yourself in it? We'll give you a third-round pick. But we revamped our defensive line. We got Walter Nolan, Dalvin Tomlinson, Calais Campbell, Josh Sweat. We got dudes, Darius Robinson. We got dudes out the wazoo. We don't need you. You need us. So I want to make it happen. I hope it happens. But I'm not gutting my future to get Trey Hendrickson. Because remember, you have to pay him too. And it's going to be a hefty deal for the next 2 years. What if someone becomes available on the free agency market? Do you want to be strung up to Trey Hendrickson? 2.5 months ago I would have been. But not as much anymore. So it makes a lot of sense. And any Cardinal fan in my comment section that's like, oh, we got to get Trey Hendrickson. We have to go get him. Whether it's Ivan, whether it's Aaron, whether it's my guy Steven in the chat, any one of you guys. If you guys want to do that, I totally get it. But we're not in as desperate need as we used to be. We've got a revamped line. We've got Jonathan Gannon. It's going to work out fine. But what I won't do is just give away a second-round pick and then pay him. I want Trey Hendrickson here. You want Trey Hendrickson here. But it's a beautiful place to be where the Cardinals don't have to get him now. And I think it's very possible that they do. But what is more likely is someone who is desperate and didn't do free agency in the NFL draft right, like the Arizona Cardinals did, will give up more than the Cardinals will give up and give him a bigger deal than the Cardinals would have given him because that's what dumb organizations do. They panic and they go trade and get players to help put a patch on the Flex Seal patch on the boat sinking. That's what Steve Keim used to do, guys. Steve Keim was never about drafting and developing. He was, crap, I screwed up the draft again. Let's go trade for someone. This would be the biggest all-in move that the Cardinals have done in probably 8 seasons. It'd be bigger than J.J. Watt. It's not bigger than Chandler Jones, but it's probably as big as Chandler Jones. And so I don't know if the Cardinals are going to do that yet. And as much as I would do a third-round pick for Trey Hendrickson, I just don't know if the Cincinnati Bengals would take that because of pride, arrogance, whatever it is. So that's kind of my point there, Aaron. All right, guys. You know what's crazy? I almost canceled today's show because, I'm beat. I'm tired. That's, it's one of the reasons why it took me a second to get up and get on here. I accidentally overslept. I'm beaten. I'm battered. But I'm so committed to doing this that I was just like, I'm going to do a show anyways. And I went from having no stories to talk about to this was a jam-packed show. The draft lottery is stupid, and I'll take Trey Hendrickson to the Arizona Cardinals if it makes sense. So I appreciate you guys making me a part of your day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Guys, that does a huge solid for me. If you could just hit the like button, potentially even comment, it gets it in the algorithm. That's why your favorite host asks for likes. So if you could just like, share, subscribe, to potentially even tell a friend, that'd be awesome. This show continues to grow, and that's another reason why I don't take days off for my scheduled work days. So also, I want to have another Saturday conversation on the Ben Garcia Show with another prominent media member. Let me know who you guys want that to be. Either someone from the Diamondbacks, someone from the Suns, someone from the Cardinals. Whoever you want on this show. I've got decent relationships everywhere. Comment that down below. Put it in the chat. I will look into it and see if I can get that person here. Potentially whatever person in the comment section gets the most likes. I would like to do that as well.